The liquor lot. They broke the, yeah. But yeah, it's a, but there, they got a picture of a person walking down the hall. They've got a movie on, but we got an idea of kind of who it is, but I'm just trying to put it two and two together. He's a knucklehead. He's on camera. And it's probably related, but I don't know. They come here and start doing knucklehead stuff. So the one in here owns the one in Kenya. Oh, they did get it. Oh, I'm kind of curious on who that is. Were they inside? That's the same thing here. It's the same raptor. The MO. Yeah. This was not working. I want everybody looking at me.
What are you waiting on? The pot to boil?
Glad you're here safe.
I am too. The people in Denver probably don't think that. Well, they're probably glad I'm here. God, I can't sleep.
Grass that comes out.
I tell you, one of the places we had to stop, being Kansas City, Missouri. Big mistake. PS gas station. I'm like, all right.
No, I got extras
Yeah.
because I knew.
My nephew was, I don't know where he was. He delivered some horses back somewhere. I don't think in Kansas. I don't think he was in Kansas City. But he was coming home and he got hung up at the gas station. He had, I mean, he doesn't look like the kind of guy you had to hold up.
It's a wild world out there now, I tell ya. If I was like telling a buddy in the vehicle, I'm like, dude, like 30 more minutes, you can hold it. I gotta stop now. I'm like,
Oh,
well, Clark Griswold, roll them up.
what's that?
I'd like to call the order Florence City Council meeting for Monday, October 21st, 2024. Please rise for the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Counselor Van Houten.
Here.
Counselor Stiefel.
Here.
Counselor Mergelman.
Here.
Counselor Gardner.
Here.
Counselor Stone.
Here.
Counselor McKinnon.
Here.
Mayor Wolf.
Here. First order of business is public hearing. I would like to open a public hearing for the 2025 proposed budget for the city of Florence. And if there is any public comment, this is the time to speak on the budget. All right, hearing none. I close the public hearing on the budget. Public comments. I know we had no one sign up for public comments, but I do have a statement to read. Per Colorado law, electioneering is prohibited within 100 feet of polling places while voting is open. This includes campaigning, displaying political matters, wearing advocacy clothing, distributing literature, and collecting signatures. City Hall and the council chambers are within 100 feet of a ballot box and thus subject to these restrictions. Public comment, elected official discussions, and audience participation will be conducted accordingly in order to protect voters from undue influence and help ensure a fair electoral process. Okay, thank you for that. All right, item 5, consent agenda. Consent agenda consists of approving the minutes from the last meeting, approving expenditures from October 10th and October 17th, renewing 3 annual liquor license, selecting an applicant for a vacant position on the Planning Commission, and authorizing the city manager to enter into a renewal agreement with Census Software. At this time, would any council members like to pull any of the consent agenda? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda items A through G.
Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion passes. Council updates. We have no new business. Council updates. City council reports. James.
I do not have any.
Matt.
As you guys know, I was gone the previous meeting. I had the opportunity to go down to North Carolina and provide some hurricane relief opportunity. It was myself, another individual from Colorado, 2 from Fort Worth, and 3 individuals from Indiana. I'd like to thank the community for coming together, providing supplies, and allowing us to be able to go down there for a week and provide some serious relief that's much needed in that area.
Okay, and Matt, thank you for your service down there. Rudel.
I went to FEDC and there was nothing earth-shaking there. I did attend the Fremont Exceptional Women's Banquet the other night, and Florence came through in flying colors. Millie Wentz won one of the highest awards, Women of Excellence in Fremont County, recognized for her work with historical preservation and all her historical work downtown. And my little sometimes neighbor, Cassidy West, won the Rising Star. So we won 2 of the 5 awards. And then the Bell Tower Cultural Center was the recipient of the profits, the monetary donation they were making that night. So Peg Peltingsgroup was the keynote speaker. So it was a warm, fuzzy Florence night there.
All right. Anything else, Rudel?
Nope.
Okay. Brenda?
I have nothing.
Tammy?
I also attended the 2 functions that Rudel did. They were wonderful. Upcoming event for the Halloween is on Halloween. Downtown Merchants the Florence Chamber and the City of Florence also host the event from 5 to 7. So if anybody wants to come and participate, it's a lot of fun. And the merchants are also working on beautifying the downtown with the help of the city and the high school, doing some welding.
Thank you. Gail?
Don't have anything, but I just want to say thank you, Matt, for what you did.
Mayor's report. As in our consent agenda, we had the opportunity to interview Bliss Eklund for the position on the Planning Commission, and I think she's going to be a good person, a good fit for that. We're excited, and I need to thank her for her interest in city governance and a position on the Planning Commission. Senior Coffee, I continue to try to get there as often as I can. It's been a little hard lately because I've been working with the RE2, it's called the Bear Hugs program, and they provide weekend food for 223 students who have food insecurity between Florence High School and Fremont Elementary and Penrose Elementary. 223 kids. I think that people that involved, I know Rotary's involved and helps out with it. Fremont County does, the Praise Community Church does. And then interesting, we were at a we were at the CML meeting, and a gentleman from Atmos Energy got up and talked about food insecurity, and that word kind of like a bell, and I got the name, and I passed the name along, and Atmos Energy has provided a big contribution to this program. And because you can imagine, it's hard right now because the cost of food keeps going up, and the number of kids keep going up. So, but I know it's, not the governance of here, but it's what's happening within our community, because we supply for a lot of kids in Williamsburg, Coal Creek, Rockvale, as well as the Penrose area. Attended the Mayor's Roundtable. All entities are involved with the budget process right now. And a lot of the talk was also about the PUC and Black Hills Energy. Been updated on some continued discussions within that intervention process. And we have, our city manager, are you going to talk about that date in your report? Okay. Working with the city and the county on the Sumo Road issue, trying to collect information. I will say that the county's been pretty good about getting us some information recently, so that's good. And then I want to say a special thanks to the Florence PD. A concern came in about monitoring Fraser and 115 during drop-off and pickup, because it gets pretty crowded in there. And I'm talking with the chief. They've been have somebody down there every morning and every afternoon down there with the school crosswalk, and so we appreciate that effort for that, because I know that's a little bit something new with all that down there and the new pattern for dropping off and picking up. So thanks to the Florence PD for making that a priority. Okay, that's it for me. City Manager.
So as you saw in my report, we're working on a lot of new programs to improve asset management, program management, and the budgeting process. I wanted to thank council for your support on all that as we try and make everything as consistent and keep moving forward on transparency. Wanted to thank Lori for all the work she put into this budget. I'm sure you all noticed we tried to publish an FAQ about how it looks a little bit different this time, but again, in an effort to make it a little more transparent, a little more accessible once we get through that initial, hey, this looks different, but trying to get rid of some of those transfers and such. And Lori did a fantastic job working on that. So I wanted to thank her and thank all of you for your support through that as well. CM held a pre-bid meeting for the North Pikes Peak project today. So that is already posted, and they went ahead. They had several firms here taking a look and getting ready to submit bids on that. And we are planning to start on some of the tree work this week. It still won't be on North Pikes Peak. We are still waiting on CDOT for that access permit, but it will be on phase 2. So the contractor has been in touch with Sam and told him his plan is to start this week, barring any unforeseen circumstances on those phase 2. As the mayor mentioned, PUC will be here for their informational hearing on November 18th at 5:30 prior to the council meeting. So that will be where they provide information on how to submit comments, anything on how to submit protests for the public to take part in that action, which is separate from the city's litigation. So we'd encourage anybody who had any questions or any interest in that to come to that. And if you have any major changes that you would like to see to the budget before the November 4th first reading, please let us know. And you would still have an opportunity at that first reading to pass it as amended or make changes during that time if you see anything big that comes up.
Is it appropriate to make a comment about the budget at all at this time? Yeah, I would like to commend the city on the budget, because I know one of the messages that we got was about infrastructure. And, you know, if you look at this budget and you look at it closely, you know, we have put in much increase for streets, major street improvements. ADA sidewalks was almost doubled. Sidewalk improvement itself was a much bigger chunk than we've had in the past. Parks and trees and parks, that almost tripled from the city standpoint. So I was very happy to see that, because that's what we heard a lot about, was what are we going to do with infrastructure. And I also like, you know, we talked about with the ARPA funds, focusing on the Pioneer Park bathroom, because that's something that's used not only by the citizens of Florence, but everybody that comes here for every event, everybody traveling through in the summer, spring and fall. You know, it's used by everybody. So, thank you for that. Anybody else have any comments to city manager about budget? Okay. Okay. City attorney, anything?
Not a whole lot, just a quick update on the Black Hills rate case. Just to some extent, our advocacy is already bearing some fruit. There's been some notice, well, there was an insufficient notice in the notice that was sent out by Black Hills to customers. So there's already been a motion to make sure that that is corrected. We're at that stage, so it hasn't been ruled on yet, but just wanted to mention that being involved is helpful, and we're making some waves already. So.
Okay. All right. City clerk, anything from you? Okay. All right. All right, hear nothing more. Anybody have a reason to call for executive session? No? Hearing none, we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at 6:44.